What is up, everybody? To Reverse TV here today, and E3 just happened. E3 is now gone. Is now gone. Is now happened and gone. So yeah, they have crowned a game the most anticipated game of the E3 showcase, and that is Forza Horizon 5. And you know, whenever an Xbox game gets positive news or positive people speaking positive about it, there's a lot of haters. So there's going to be equally butthurtness between Nintendo fans and Sony fans as well. Nintendo fans, at least they had a good showcase. They had a good showcase this year. I say Nintendo and Xbox save E3 this year. Sony fans are just gonna be butthurt because Sony decided to come to E3, so I don't know why y'all mad. It's like y'all should have wanted Sony to go to E3, or just I don't know why they dished E3, but hey, of course it wouldn't have been a Sony game that's gonna be the most anticipated game because it wasn't at E3. So let's look at the comments and see what people are saying about this. I do think this is a fantastic game, though. This game looks really amazing. It looks almost like photorealistic, like some of the pictures and screenshots they were showing. And it takes place in Mexico, which looks pretty like a cool setting to have for Forza for the Horizon series. So let's read some of the comments. But it's just a boring racing game. How could it be the most anticipated game of E3? I call absolute, I call absolute BS on that statement. No way Breath of the Wild 2 is the most anticipated game at E3. I want to play Breath of the Wild 2, but I was like, come on, man. It was like people voted what they want, what they said was most anticipated. It was a little butthurt right here. I don't even like racing games, but the arcade mode and the graphics make me want to play the new Forza. Breath of the Wild is the most overrated game of all time, literally worse than Genshin Impact. And hopefully they fix the way when you attack enemies, your weapon gets destroyed over time. I hated that in the original game. Hopefully they fix that in a new one. We have effing Starfield and Breath of the Wild 2 at the show, and you guys choose the annual Forza. We haven't had a Horizon game in 3 years, so it's not annual. I mean, it's just a racing game that Xbox gets every year. It looks amazing, of course it does. I'm not taking anything away from it, but it isn't a bit sad that the most anticipated game of E3 2021 has a number 5 after it. That logic that leads you to the last line just knows actually garbage. It's like, oh, this is a Sony fanboy crying, I guess. Okay. Sorry, I can't hear you. The music is too loud in here. It's like really some Ratchet and Clank. Like, did y'all beat that game already? Okay. Really? Yeah, it's a loved and understood universal as the best driving game in the globe. Halo and Starfield are also loved, but not everyone loves FPS games. Who doesn't like to hop in a car and drive, though? Battlefield 2042 is the most innovative, though. Elden Ring lost to this. People are really out here saying it's just the same racing game. Half the people who play this game play it for graphics, attention to detail, and the new cars that come out every year. It's a game with every growing DLC thanks to the outside world. Oh, you got Forza as the king while everybody else is bowing down, like Project Cars, Need for Speed, Drive Club, Gran Turismo is all bowing down to Forza. Drive Club is still great. No other racing game can replicate those weather effects. Here for the comments and salt. There's a lot of there's a lot of salt in these comments right here. That's because Elder Ring wasn't there. They didn't show Starfield. They showed a worthless CGI trailer. I personally picked Battlefield 2042, but one thing we can all agree is that Microsoft conference was easily the best part of E3. I agree as well. I think Microsoft had the best conference. Nintendo had the second best conference, and yeah, that's about it. The rest of the conference was kind of trash. For me, as Halo Infinite, racing was never really my style. It would probably be Breath of the Wild 2 if it was coming out this year. Xbox One, haha, at the sore losers who replied to this. E3 was dog s, lol. Not really. Xbox right now, who's laughing now? Most beautiful graphics of any game ever made. Mexico 2, wow, mind blowing. Playground game deserves a standing ovation. Jaw dropping moments, Forza Horizon 5. Looking forward to what they do with Fable. Nothing at E3 really got my attention, to be honest. How do you say nothing at E3 got your attention? That is shocking right there, but okay. As for Forza, I mean, I'll play a bit of it, but it's just a racing game at the end of the day, and it gets super boring. I can't understand why so many Sony fans are raging about this because their company wasn't at E3. That's why they're mad. They are gonna nitpick every Xbox game that was shown at E3 because their beloved conference, their beloved company wasn't at E3. Sony didn't turn up, so how could they have had an anticipated game at E3? It's like obvious, common sense. People's common sense. Like you can't have an anticipated game if you're not gonna be E3. Not fans at all, just shills on an imaginary payroll to try to convince others to not buy games from other brands. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Tell me how you know E3 was disappointing without telling me how you know E3 was disappointing. Mexico for Forza Horizon 5, then Fable, Forza Horizon 6 in Tokyo, Japan. Come on, let's go. That's the funniest part about E3 is watching all the entitled gamers crying every time they see something that isn't for them. Whenever racing games are brought up in car forums, there's only one game that's mentioned. It's not Need for Speed or Gran Turismo. It's Forza. Yeah, Forza is It's an amazing racing game. People say Forza is the best racing game of all time. That's serious. So. And for a great reason too, Horizon games are fantastic. The best racing games out there. Nothing beats earning money in races to buy an exact car you want to spec to whatever specialty you want it to be, all in a huge open world. Okay, let's see. You put on a hazmat suit to go to the comment section. Yeah, you're gonna need a hazmat suit to go to the comment section. There's a lot of toxic saltiness in the comment section. Nope, that award goes to Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread looks definitely interesting. I'm gonna talk about that game more in another video, but that definitely was a cool looking game right there. Forza has wider appeal for sure, and will certainly shift some units, but most anticipation is for Metroid Dread. I don't really like racing games, and Forza Horizon 5 looks awesome and deserves this award a lot. Congratulations, Playground turned 10 on Microsoft. Then I forgot to mention too. So apparently, while E3 was going on, you had the fan base whose conference wasn't there, and you had some members of that fan base whose conference wasn't at E3, who was putting out slanderous rumors about Forza Horizon 5 running at 30 frames per second and not being at 60. Then the developer, this is the funny thing. It's because as soon as they started rolling with these rumors, like the actual like game director put out a statement and saying, "Hey, this is running at 60. Y'all are some idiots." He didn't say that. But he pretty much might as well have said that because the timing for that was very like convenient. It was like, "Hey, this game runs performance mode at 4K 60." They pretty much called these guys some idiots because that's what they are. It's like you run with some stuff like, "Hey, this game is running at 30 frames per second." I don't think any of the other games ran at 30 frames per second. If I'm not mistaken, but yeah, it's like we're on Xbox Series X. The stuff is gonna be at 4K 60. It's like especially for that type of game. So that was an interesting side note that I saw that was going down on social media. So back to the comments. Well deserved, Forza Horizon 5 looked gorgeous and showed a lot of meaningful gameplay. It's obvious that Playground Games is one of, if not Xbox's best first party studios. Bravo. Forza Horizon is a love letter to racing games. Now it's like the Horizon Festival was real and there's a real hype behind it. LMAO. Seriously, the only reason I own the new Xbox is this right here. A lot of people are really hyped for Forza. That's a lot of people hype. This comments will be safe. Okay. How to execute a perfect socket. Okay, what? This is how you know E3 was us this year. Delicious, salty tears. Here for the salt. Keep going. This comment section is pure gold. It is pure gold because there's so many salty people in this comment section. Like, wow, it is some salty mofos in this comment section. It is just ridiculous. Wow, the comments. Well, it's definitely my most anticipated for sure. Cannot wait. Yeah, everybody sees the saltiness, bro. It's like, why are you mad? The company that you worship wasn't at E3. It's like you gotta take that up with that company why they wasn't at E3, while everyone else was at E3. Like you even had like a few companies who shouldn't even have showcase. They could have even companies that like, hey, you probably shouldn't have had a showcase was even at E3 had a showcase. So hey, it is what it is. So I'm concluded right there. Forza Horizon 5. Most people, like people anticipating this game was the most anticipated game for E3. Won that award. And the game looks great. It's coming to Game Pass, so if you got Game Pass, you can try it. You can check it out. So that's the video. Definitely see your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you like this video. And as always, thanks for watching and peace.